Everybody, and welcome to another edition of Beyond the Bell. It is Wednesday, February 28th, 2024. It is 60 seconds after the bell, which means it is time to go beyond the news, beyond the charts, and beyond the bell. Brought to you, as always, by our good friends over at the Blue Sky Trading Company for the clearest path to a live brokerage account in the entire prop firm industry. Live trading with Mike every single day, every single trading day in our Discord. And this wonderful show you don't need anywhere else. So welcome to this edition of Beyond the Bell. I see some of the names I see every day. Tiana, thank you. Give us some bells in the chat. I always appreciate that. First of all, I want to, we've been at this for a little over a month now. We've kind of been building out this show, and one of the things when I sat down and talked this over with Blue Sky about doing this, because I've done some iteration of this show for on and off for several years now. And I said, I want to make sure we do a lot of things organically, right? Like we could go spend a bunch of money advertising, but then, we want people to find the show, especially people within the Blue Sky community already. We want to spread it by word of mouth. Now, obviously, when we, pre-announce giveaways, there's a lot of people that show up, but our numbers on days where we don't do giveaways are steadily starting to climb up. And I see some of the very same names day after day making comments in the chat with the bells. And guys, that's awesome. That is fan-freaking-tastic. Okay, for those of you that are here day after day with no incentive other than to learn and to get better at trading, I will tell you this. I realize a lot of what I say, in again, on non-giveaway days is preaching to the choir, but you guys truly that show up day after day, putting in the extra time, right? Like, I know futures markets go on mostly 24 hours a day. There's other stuff you could be doing, but you choose to be here. I don't take that lightly. I sincerely appreciate you being here, and I sincerely hope you get something out of each and every one of those these shows. So with that in mind, guys, let's go ahead and talk about the markets and get into the big picture. So, not a whole lot of update from where we were yesterday, right? We talked about, get my drawing tools up here, and we talked about kind of this zone that we were in for quite some time, right? And we're basically breaking down a little bit out of that zone, but we don't really have kind of the confirmation yet. Although we did, if this is kind of our area, oh, sorry, my mouse is drifting on my desk there, okay? Sort of a little bit of a break, retest, and go, which is a pattern I really like. If we were to get probably, I would say, below 17,850, which is down in this area here. So it's still a little ways from where the price action has been. Below here, I am definitely looking for a test back into the 17,700 level in this big area. You guys have seen this multiple times on this show. But this is just such a key area here, as it was basically a triple top last month and into early February. 1, 2, 3. Then we broke up through it. It acted as support down through here and a little bit down through here. So again, if we break below 850, I think that's where we're going to be headed. Let's take a look at the ES. ES very similar. In fact, we drew this box yesterday. We can go ahead and just sort of adjust it a little bit. So if we were to break out probably below 50-70, I think 50-50, 50-40 is probably on deck. So I would really, as we sit here right now, as we move into tomorrow's market, without any, anything of what, any knowledge of what's going to go on in the next few hours, obviously, I'm short-term bearish sort of leading into tomorrow. Now, of course, if we wake up and the price action has really moved, then we'll go from there. And also, again, very possible. Where are you going? There we go. Very possible we just continue to hang out in this range until we get some sort of news, right? We got, what do we got? Non-farm payrolls on Friday because it's the 1st. So maybe that's something that moves the markets a little bit. I had this conversation with a few clients earlier today, sort of talking about the market, and I said basically, if you want to assume outside of weekends and time we take off, let's say there's about 250 days you trade per year if you're able to be there on a day-to-day basis. So 365 days a year, we take out weekends. Most of us, and take a couple weeks vacation here or there, or maybe you're not feeling great or you have other things you're not able to trade. So let's just approximate 250. That may be a little low, but that's whatever. Probably anywhere between 30 and 50 of those days are going to be like what we've seen so far this week. And this is 3 days. We've been kind of in a little bit of a range. Now, we'll take a look at the 5-minute chart of the NQ momentarily, and there was some trading opportunities today. Ironically, I made more trades today than I have in quite some time. Finished green, not like huge green, but, any day you finish green when especially when you're just kind of hunting and pecking around the markets, it is a good day, so I can't complain. Again, that's kind of one of the big things of the markets, right? We can work. There's days I work for an hour in the markets and you can make $3 or $4 grand. There's days like today I worked basically about 4 hours worth of trading and made a few $100. I mean, that's still nice, right? Like that's outstanding. But that the frustrating days are the ones where you're at your computer all day, 5.5, 6 hours, you make, 10, 15 trades and you end up like break even on the day because a lot of that feels that it's wasted, right? And those are the days that, to infinity and beyond the bell. Brian, I like that. I really appreciate that. And if it wouldn't get the absolute bejesus suit out of me and Blue Sky by Disney, we'd make that our key phrase. So just kind of keep that on the down low. We'll make it our unofficial unofficial slogan for this show. But if we made it an official, my doorbell would ring and Mickey Mouse would just beat the crap out of me. I'm assuming they just send Mickey to handle his own business, right? So that's I got that mental image. So there's something to go with for the rest of your day. It's one of and Mark Douglas talks about this in his trading psychology, right? It's that, the markets are just one of the reasons we have so much trouble adapting to the structure of the markets is that we're accustomed. We've all done it, right? Every single one of us in here, you've unless you're the ultimate trust fund baby, you've worked a job in your life at some point, right? Whether it's hourly or salary. I'm like a lot of people. I worked at a fast food burger joint, not a name one. It was just a local one here. But I when I'm 18, I'm flipping burgers. Not to be too cliche. And then I've worked salary jobs at various points. And so if you're let's say you're working at a fast food restaurant, you make $10 an hour and you work an 8-hour shift, in theory, before taxes, of course, at the end of the shift, you've made $80. Whereas, if you have a salary job and you make $60 grand a year, as long as you don't get fired at any point in the year before taxes, you're going to go home with $60,000. In trading, we just don't know. I mean, again, I have worked extremely short days and made a ton of money, and I've worked extremely long days and made next to nothing, and there's days where I've lost a ton. There's, virtually unlimited opportunity for profit or loss on any given day of the markets, and our brains in our day-to-day lives and really society is not structured for a lot of those types of things. So especially, for those of us that don't get into trading when we're in high school and, when brains are still developing and we get into this, for me, it was, basically around 30 years old, late 20s when I started looking into the markets, early 30s when I started trading. For some people that I've worked with, 40s, 50s, 60s, I've worked with traders who have never traded a day in their life until they hit their 70s and retired, right? And so our whole mindset of how much we earn versus how much we work is completely stood on its end in the trading world. So it's very, very, very just different in general, right? I do want to comment because I know some people, I did not experience any data issues today. I know some people were talking about there were some rhythmic issues. I want to make sure that I hit this again, just because we talked about this the other day when I believe Tradeovate or somebody was having some issues. I had a couple of hiccups on Monday, nothing severe, nothing at all today. But just a reminder, whatever it is, and maybe it had to do with the data provider of a particular prop firm. I don't specifically think Blue Sky had any issues, but I can't speak to that. I'm not a member of the support team. Guys, if you ever have data issues or anything like that, make sure you let the support team know on the website, not necessarily in Discord. Blue Sky's support team is A+. They will work with you if there's situations that are completely beyond your control and their control. But guys, if you're having data issues, don't sit there and try to force trades when they're not going through. It is perplexing to me. When it's like I've always used the analogy of using your tools, right? I did the thing yesterday where I talked about the platform is your tool, right? And so you should know it very well. The example I've always used is nobody wants to be laying on a surgery table about to have surgery, and mask goes on your face. You're about you're fading out, and you hear the doctor say, I've never used these tools before, right? Or I'm not very familiar with this brand of scalpel. That's, right as you pass out, you don't want to hear that, right? And similarly, that surgeon shouldn't be doing surgery on anybody if he doesn't understand his tools. And you're the surgeon in this analogy. And if you're having data issues, it's like you're trying to operate during an earthquake. So don't do it. Just get up and walk away for a little while. Don't try to check it every 5 minutes, because sometimes those things come back in and then go back out. Honestly, if you're having severe data issues, you're seeing lag, your orders aren't getting filled, try to zero out everything as possible. And honest to God, guys, get up and walk away from your computer for 30 minutes. Sometimes these things get resolved very quickly. Sometimes they don't. I've been doing this for 10 years now. I've seen any number of data issues that have lasted for 5 minutes or 5 hours. Okay, generally they don't last more than a few minutes, because obviously, if it's a major outage and affects the big boys will not be happy with the data providers. But yeah, guys, make sure you're just, I don't know how many more ways I need to state that. Mike, you want free T-shirts today, huh? I know you were asking about that yesterday too. Maybe we'll do a giveaway of T-shirts in the next couple of days or next week or something. I have zero control over that. They just tell me what we're doing on a given day. But yeah, it's we'll do some. I'm sure we'll give away some merch at some point anyway. Maybe I could just, Mike, I just send you a T-shirt with just my face on it and just like a, something like that. Just, you wear that around, everyone looks at you and goes, who the hell is that idiot, right? And, that's what they say when I just walk around, so it's all good. Rock a blue sky shirt. Okay, let's really get on Josh and let's tell him when you take your first payout from brokerage, they should send you a free T-shirt too. I think that'd be kind of cool. Are we gonna do it? Okay, we're gonna give away some shirts, guys. We're gonna give away 2 T-shirts. Josh just reached out to me via Discord. We are going to give away a couple of T-shirts here. So we'll let our good friend Raj back at our home offices in Wahoo, Nebraska, set up the link. So we'll do that. Guys, we'll just do 5 minutes of sign-ups. We'll just do our Gleam thing. We'll give away a couple of T-shirts today. So everyone thank Mike. Mike was on us about this. And, yeah, so we appreciate that. We appreciate that on behalf of the good friends over at Blue Sky. I'm Matt. I'm not Mike. Mike is the gentleman that trades in the Discord during the day. Very knowledgeable trader, very good at what he does. Make sure you get in there and listen to him. Ask questions as well. But I'm Matt. I know it's easy to confuse Matt and Mike, one syllable M names. We're both awesome. We both make money trading, and you can ask us both questions about trading. So a lot of similarities there. He's got a really cool cowboy hat. I don't have that. So I just got like I actually have a Beyond the Bell hat right here. But I can't really wear this too much because it darkens out my face when I've got my lights on. So, so yeah. Anyway, let me. Okay, so I do want to go to the 5-minute chart of the NQ. We did, guys, for VWAP traders. We had some really nice action in the afternoon. I only caught one of these because I was working on a couple of other things, and a couple of these happened during my lunch hour. But really, again, this is, for me, guys, this is pretty much untradeable as far as like candlesticks and stuff. It's just not, the range isn't there. And when the ATR is really when it's below 20, but especially when it's below 18, I'm really hesitant to trade. And it was kind of hovering around that 20 to 18 level for most of the afternoon. But nice rejection of the negative one or the positive one standard deviation. Double bottom here. This should have been a really nice potential trade, guys. Again, I didn't personally catch this, so I don't want to blow smoke, but this is a really nice kind of W pattern. One of my mentors in the stock trading business, she used to love this pattern, used to just kill it every time it came up there. Then a VWAP tap here, so definitely a lot of really cool and interesting. Oh, we got him. Okay, we've got that. Tiana, yeah, no, yeah. Oh, thanks, Mike. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was Mike, the gentleman in the chat. Yeah, okay. I get confused very easily. After a day of trading, I'm lucky I can string 2 sentences together on this show because my mind is usually mush by about 3 o'clock. But then I have a couple of client meetings later tonight, so I don't advocate any sort of illegal drug use, but I might have to go get a pick me up. I'm just kidding, of course. Don't do drugs, kids, unless you're of age and whatever it is legal in your particular jurisdiction. Other than that, stay the hell away. Thumbnail. Shubham, I can't answer that question. I'm just a humble contractor here. I don't work for Blue Sky. I'm sure you can reach out to them or anybody else. I think our design team does a really good job here, so I don't know if there's any openings, but you're welcome to reach out to them via the Blue Sky channel. So we've got the link, guys. Stickied at the top of the chat there is the merch giveaway. As also, guys, this is an interactive show, and we've got a very active chat today. So if you guys have any questions or if there's anything you want to look at, this is not a hold your questions to the end kind of thing. No, get in there, ask your questions. Closed mouths don't get fed in this business. And, guys, that's kind of, you know what? I didn't have a lesson of the day today, and we are now going to make this our lesson of the day. Ask questions in this business, guys. Honestly, I'm not here to comment on any other education provider or anything like that. I could get down in the weeds and say, oh, this is great and this isn't great. It doesn't matter. Find a person, a style, somebody that speaks to you. But for goodness sakes, guys, if you're part of like our Blue Sky Discord, if you come here in to the show on any given day, and I'm telling you guys to ask questions and ask questions. Okay, closed mouths do not get fed in this business. I don't care how stupid they sound. Believe me, if you think a question is stupid, I asked something stupider probably my first few months of trading, right? Like we all got to start somewhere. Some of us don't know how to place a limit order or a market order or a bracket order or an OC order or anything like that. Some of us don't know how contracts are constructed in the futures, right? Like ask questions, especially if it's something like basic, like contracts and stuff like that. Google's your friend. The CME has some great content about futures contracts, their expiration, how much they're worth per tick, and all that on their website. And they're the ones who issue the contracts. So go straight to the source, the CME. I don't know the website off the top of my head, but if you just search for CME, and they also have like some good free educational materials on the CME's website as well, full-on courses. In fact, my boss at the last place that I worked in the education department, she helped design some of those courses. So it's great material. Most of their stuff is free on the site, so go ahead and definitely check that out. So I want to, Chris, how can we practice discipline? This is an outstanding question. Just be disciplined. All right, next question. No, I'm kidding, of course. Honestly, Chris, when I first got into day trading, okay, I had a gentleman, I was watching a webinar, and I don't remember this gentleman's name, so I'm doing him a disservice. So this is definitely coming, me sort of adapting what he does, but that's basically what this business is. He said, somebody was at, what's the most valuable thing for a day trader? And he says very simply, screen time. Time in front of your screens, executing your trades, watching the market. Josh and I had this conversation a couple weeks ago. We were guesstimating how many candles we've watched open and close over the years, like a 5-minute candle where I've watched it open, I watched the candle, I watch it close. Probably hundreds of thousands, maybe a million. I don't know. All right, the big math is tough, but our brains are remarkable pattern recognition machines. And so just getting, the reps, right? Like I'm a big baseball fan. It's spring training right now. When the players reported a few weeks ago, what's the first thing all the hitters did? They hit off a tee. Every single one of them. They hit off a tee. Then they hit off a machine, then live pitching, all that kind of stuff. So, as far as practicing discipline, it comes from experience and it comes from getting reps in trades, right? And whether it's a low-cost evaluation or just on the sim, getting in there and practicing that discipline is very important. It's tough for me to comment specifically on your situation because just, discipline is obviously a generalized term. Different people struggle with different aspects of discipline. Some people, like myself, when I first started, I was a chaser, right? Big on FOMO. Some people are bag holders. They blow out evals and accounts in, 20 seconds. It depends on the situation, but honestly, screen time and just being there. And if you're just lost, guys, just sit and watch your screen and just watch the candles open and close. It can actually be very calming when you're not like immediately trying to get into a trade. And just keep marking your zones, keep watching the price move from zone to zone. Like I've told people, if you're really struggling with your trading, and this is just a suggestion on my part, this will by no means fix all of your problems, but something as simple as throwing VWAP up on your charts and only taking long trades above VWAP and short trades below VWAP, give that a go for a little while. Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't, but at least it's the very basic bare bones of a system, right, of a playbook that you can build on from there. So just little bits to start from. So I hope some of that answers your question. A car asked, do you use volume profile in your analysis? Honestly, value profile and TPO, stuff like that, is just stuff I'm kind of getting into right now. So as this show progresses in the coming weeks and months, you'll probably see me talk about a little bit about it on this show. I want to learn a little more before I start teaching it. And start commenting and talking about it. But it's a very interesting, the more I learn, the more it all sort of ties together. And, if market profile, if it's something I build some plays off of, great. If it just helps me get a little extra percentage of wins on what I'm already doing, it's great. If I can study for 100 hours on something and it improves my win rate 2 or 3%, that's tens of thousands of dollars throughout the course of a year. So it's worth every second of that. So hope that answers your question. How do you know you're in an area you don't want to trade while you were in it, not after? Well, I don't get into trades when I don't want to be in that particular area of the chart. If I don't want to be in a trade, I'm not in a trade. So I'm not sure if the trade goes against me, I just follow my stop losses, right? If you're really struggling on where to set stop losses, guys, again, this is just a oversimplified hack to start with. This will not solve all your problems, but it's a place to start. Start with an ATR, right? I have the 5-minute ATR on my charts, on any of my, especially my 5-minute charts. So, start with your ATR. So if the ATR is 20, start by setting your stop there, right? And go from, it's a place to start if you have no any other ideas. And then if you're consistently stopped out, okay, I need to work on my entry, or I need to work on my play, or, again, go from there. These are just little, obviously, guys, very oversimplified hacks. These by no means will solve all of your trading issues, but it's a place to start, because so many people, when they're struggling, don't even know where to start. So, all right, guys, in 2 minutes, we are going to cut off the signups. We're giving away 2 t-shirts today. Why not? Because y'all asked for it, so we'll go ahead and do that. What is the ATR? It's average true range. Okay. I encourage you, for any terminology or anything, guys, go to Investopedia. It's a free resource. They'll help you out, and it's a great free resource that will explain things. It's a lot of crowdsourced type stuff, but it's checked. It's Wikipedia for traders and investors, but without going into a deep dive on it, because there is some complex calculations in it. But basically, ATR is what's the overall average range of the last X candles, right? I typically have my ATR set to 14. Some platforms have the default at 20, but that gives you just a general idea of how much is the market moving, right? When the ATR is 30, that means in a given 5 minutes, the range of that candle could be about 30 points, or at least on average, right? So it helps to tell you when that market action is contracting versus expanding. So I definitely encourage you to check that out. Just put it on your chart and see if it helps you set your stops or set your profit targets. Again, risk reward and percentage wins are directly related. So if you don't have any idea, guys, where to set your profit targets and where you set your stops, a good place to start is, I'll tell some of my clients, is a 1 ATR stop and a 1.5 ATR profit target. So basically, you're risking, for example, 20 handles to make 30. And if you do that, and you can win 50% of the time, if you do that, if you win 45% of the time, you're going to be profitable. But 50% of the time, 1.5 to 1 reward to risk, that's how you build accounts, guys, long term. All that's left after that is to scale. Okay. It's basically average candle size. Yeah, it's just ATR on TradingView. Here I don't think it has a specific name, just ATR. Everything that you currently see on this chart, guys, other than this little thing up here, is all free stuff that's built into TradingView. How much of trading is psychology versus setup versus testing? Well, testing helps you with the setup, so that's kind of a separate thing. I would say half of trading is the setup, and the other 70% is psychology. So I hope that answers your question. I'm waiting for. I know there's people doing math in their heads, but no, actually, if you read the foreword to The Disciplined Trader, it's not Mark Douglas, but it's the gentleman that wrote the foreword. He believes, and I 100% subscribe to this, that if you give somebody who's in complete control of their trading, complete control of their emotions, if you give them a mediocre setup, they're going to make money on it. If you give somebody who does not have any sort of mental capacity for trading and does not have control of their emotions, and you give them an outstanding setup, they're going to lose money. Being in control, the thing I stress with people that I coach is we need to get you to a point where you're in control of your trading. That doesn't mean you're never going to lose. It doesn't mean you're never going to have losing days. It means that at any given point, you know exactly what you're doing. There's always emotions. You're not going to eliminate your emotions. But what you can't do is let your emotions control your decision-making within your trading. So, all right, guys. So we're winding down here. I want to go ahead and do our drawing. So this was kind of impromptu, so bear with me because I got to pull up our wheel o' names. We're going to draw for a couple of T-shirts today, guys. All right, I got to delete all these names from last time. Okay, let me go pull these up. Okay, beautiful. All right, guys. So we're going to spin the wheel twice. And we are spinning for a free T-shirt. Blue Sky will reach out to you, I'm assuming, on sizing and addressing and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and spin that wheel. Haytham Khalil, congratulations. So let's, that is for one T-shirt. Let's spin for another T-shirt. Heinrich, congratulations. I don't know if it's Heinrich or Henrik, but whatever it is, you're here almost every day. So I like to see you win this, my friend. That is outstanding. Yeah, Mike, that's I appreciate the idea of bringing that up. So, guys, we're kind of winding down here. We don't have and I've taken some questions, but if you ever have any questions you want to see answered on the show, make sure to reach out to me on Discord, just Trader Matt. Discord did away with all the numbers and all that crap a while ago, so you can go ahead and just reach out to me directly via direct message. And also, you can email me. It's my personal email, at least my work email, matt@tiresiastrading.com. That's TIRESIAS trading.com. So with that in mind, guys, I definitely want to thank you for tuning in to another edition of Beyond the Bell. Tomorrow is Thursday. I don't know. Might want to show up, see what happens. I don't guarantee anything for tomorrow because I don't know anything until they tell me, but I can guarantee you're going to learn something if you show up, and honestly, that's all we can ask for at any given point, right? So have a great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Beyond the Bell. I'm your host, Matt, and I'll see you tomorrow.